You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
All right. Good morning.
Holy Moses.
Yeah, Holy Moses is right. Thanks for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. It is Dick and Skippy in the mornings. We are live on Facebook.com/Dick and Skippy, hanging out in the studio. Our bumper music today is by Moses Rangel, who will be in the studio later today.
It's a Rangel.
Well, I don't know. We'll ask him.
Wrangle.
How about that? Wrangle, I like that a lot more. A little bit more aggressive. But welcome to Dick and Skippy in the mornings, broadcasting from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. If you want to chat with us, we have a text call line, 936-228-9368. We'll be taking text messages until about 10 o'clock when we have our special guests. And then if they want to open the phone lines, we'll open the phone lines then. Until then, it's just us hanging out. So feel free to comment on our Facebook live feed or get involved through dickandskippy@gmail.com. So how are you doing, Skippy?
I'm doing okay. It was a busy weekend and a busy Monday, but I'm loving it. And I'm loving the weather. Good. You know, it's only 85 right now. It's only going to get up to 94. So we got a veritable cold front out there, but we may get some thunderstorms this afternoon for a little bit, and same thing tomorrow. But it's kind of a slightly downward trend, only the low to mid-90s for the highs, and down to mid-70s for the lows. So maybe my AC won't be blowing all night long. That's what's killing me in the electric bill forum is during the day. I have the automatic timer on my thermostat that like during the day I'll crank it up to 82. So I'm not wasting air all day. So if I'm there, I can bring it down. But at night, I'm used to just basically having it off or setting it at 78 or something and let the coolness of the night take over. Well, the AC has been running all night long. So I may have to take out a second loan for my Reliant bill this month. You never know.
Yeah, my dad was telling me about their bill, and it was great because we watched the house. And when he was telling me about it, I can't believe what people pay, especially with this SJRA stuff. Because he was telling me where they live, they don't even benefit from it. Like they don't have access to that water.
Wow!
But they still have to pay. So I'm surprised there's not some. If that's true, I'm surprised no one's spending their free time and trying to change that. But yeah, and we're one step closer for Studio B, which is great. It's kind of exciting. And
you're going to get some new equipment coming in very soon? Set it up?
Yeah, it's finally taking the next step. So we have that. So
we'd be growing here. If you don't know about Lone Star, we've pretty much doubled our capacity. Yeah. And Dick's been working really hard on this. Those of you who may not know, Dick is also the station manager, the owner of the station, if you can phrase it like that.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be done. My goal is by the end of September. And so if you're interested in starting a show or need a place to interview, and we're going to do high-quality production in the back, especially with video production. We're going to have lighting and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
So it's going to be exciting. I'm going to see what trouble we can get into. I'm going to try to move the ticket stub back there. That way we can do more interactive stuff, because I've noticed a lot of movie shows have more visuals. Mm-hmm. And we're going to try to bump that up, because I like watching comedy on trailers and those kind of things.
Gotcha.
I think that's possible.
Well, how was your weekend?
It was good. I did a variety of things. We did the bowling alley. Holly and I entered a no-taps tournament.
A what tournament?
No taps.
No taps.
So what no taps is basically when you throw your first ball, if you hit 9 pins down, it counts as a strike. So it's supposed to be more of an...
Interesting.
Yeah, it's supposed to be more of a fun game, because both high-quality players can get 300s easier, and then low-quality players can still,
get on the board.
So, but I will say...
No taps.
I will say, and this is not a slight against 300, but there was a totally different crowd. Completely different. I think out of, the 40-something people that showed up, that it wasn't, maybe 10 of them were local people.
Okay.
And I don't like those other people. They were really rowdy.
It's funny when they come into your turf.
Well, I'm talking. I almost watched 2 fights. And I'm sitting there,
Really?
and I was like, Holly, let's get out of here. Like, we don't have to deal with this crap.
It reminds me of a time many years ago. So for decades, off and on, I've frequented a location in Houston called Marfrela's.
Yeah, we talked about that place.
Yeah, we have.
You wanted to take me there. It was really weird.
Yeah, well, you just got to get Marfrela sometime. But for those of you who don't know, Marfrela's is a hidden gem, literally. They've never advertised. You have to know where it is. It's a building behind a blue door, and that's all you know. It's in the River Oaks area. But it is known for its dim lighting and discreet wait staff. And I'll phrase it like that, with an upstairs that, you can stay downstairs, you can go upstairs. It's all legit, but it's a place where you can get a little bit more relaxed and intimate than you could at, a sports bar. And I remember one point many years ago, a pub opened up like right next door across the way. And they stumbled into the overspill from that pub because it was like a Sherlock's and all the yuppies were there and beering it up and dartsing it up and carousing it up. Stumbled into Marfrela. It's like, hey, look, we found another place. And so the place became very popular, at which point the owner at the time decided, oh, heck no, and pretty much quadrupled drink prices and did everything he could to get them out. And because sometimes you just don't want the outer element.
Well, what's interesting about what you're talking about, I staying at my parents', we had cable, and I stumbled across a show called
Playboy Channel?
No, Bar Rescue.
Bar Rescue. Oh, I think
And
I've
it's
heard
one
of
of
that.
those reality shows, and I was like, oh, let's see what this is all about. And it was interesting to see this guy visit bars that seemingly seemed to be like right next to a Walmart. Like, that's what they remind. Like, it wasn't like a unique place that's been around for 80 years and it needed a revisit, those kind of things. Because a lot of businesses have to go, like, revisit their
Well,
model.
I would think a bar that's old is successful because it's established. It doesn't really need
that was kind of like
fixing.
the Gordon Ramsay thing where, like, every restaurant you go to would be, like, 4 Michelin stars, but now we're in the outs. And it's like, well, clearly you've been at the top. So
What worked then that you're not doing
he
now?
kind of had the philosophy is you have to get to go along with what the people want, especially local. Like, if you're going to be in a tourist area, you got to offer what's local. That way people get a taste of what they're visiting. And the bar thing was just so ridiculous to me. Because especially people who open bars in areas that are like in a shopping center. Because there's nothing unique to the building. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like what you put inside. What makes it unique. Because
you have to have a draw for a bar. Yeah. You have to.
So it sounds like Marvelous. Do you have to pay a cover fee? Because
you did then.
It sounds like you can hang out there all night.
You could,
and your booth.
You could.
Some people
relish in the fact that they were darn near empty a lot. This is back in the day. They could have changed because I haven't been there in several years. But back in the day, you frequently. I may be there with a date or with some friends even because it wasn't necessarily a make-out place. You could go just relax, but it was quiet, very, very soft music playing, very quiet, very dim. Deeds could happen, dark deeds or quiet deeds.
Did you know there's a new hangout spot coming our way? There's a new taco truck place opening up right behind the Sonic. Over here on Fraser and 105.
Is that what I heard, that there's going to be like a food truck
I don't know, call it
depot?
Camp?
Yeah, camp.
I don't know.
Food truck depot would be.
Yeah, they're doing that, and I think they're going to be opening relatively soon. I think on the next side of the next year. I think that's what they're shooting for. There was an article in Community Impact for Conroe Montgomery, so that's gonna be kind of a cool hangout spot. And I don't know if they're going to do what Garibaldi's does, where they have their own bar, and then like you have the food truck options. Because this is actually a good thing. My dad was out of town with my mother, and they were visiting Williamsburg and Virginia and all that kind of stuff.
Did you have a risky business weekend there?
Oh, for sure. And he was talking about he went to a place that had over 70 beers on tap. And he's like, why on earth would you want to manage 70 beers on tap? And I go, I don't even know. Because I guess what's the most tap place here in Montgomery County?
Probably Deacon Baldy's.
How many taps do they have?
They had quite a few. That's that kind of indoor-outdoor place.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's the food truck thing.
Yeah, they have food trucks there too that rotate. They have a little children's playing area. It's a great place, but I just know that they have a lot of taps there. And I'm not much of a beer guy, so I haven't been on the lookout. But I would presume it's a place like Deacon Baldy's.
Okay, because I know Pacific Yard has at least 20.
Okay.
And I know Red Brick has like 9. They always they revolve theirs a lot though. So you get like a new beer every week there. But I guess the beer business is really booming where people just go in and try different. They want to have at least 80 options.
Well, think about it. It's almost like cable TV. Back when we had just the 3 big networks and then your local channels.
I mean, if any show Bar Rescue can be on, I'm like, all right, anyone can have a show. Because
Pretty much.
I would sit there. I was just amazed how that's a show, and I enjoyed.
Well, they're cheap to make.
The theatrics of it, but
They're cheap to make. But back in the day with broadcast TV, we had 3. We dealt with it, and then when we got cable, and you could have 24 hours dedicated to a single topic. Boom! Everyone wanted to get in on it. Same thing with beers. We had our big 3 back in the day: Coors, Schlitz, and Bud. And now that you got IPAs and microbrews and all these things, it brings everyone says, okay, I can have a particular taste and enjoy.
I just can't imagine managing
that. Nor I. But again,
so basically, now I'm suspicious of any place that has more than 10. Because
Make
now
up
it's
your mind?
Well, it's more of like, how do y'all know y'all clean every single thing every single time? Because you're dealing with more than 10 kegs.
Well, you want to get freaked out? Go watch
you've worked at a
Starbucks.
restaurant. You've worked at a restaurant before, right?
I have. I'm a Bennigan's
There's
guy.
always like one person is the only one who knows how to do the kegs.
Yep.
And he's not there.
Sorry, we're out of Pepsi.
Well, it's like that other person's figuring it out.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I can't imagine. So, people, when you go to places more than 10, you're probably doing the guessing game.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. I'm so weenie that Rolling Rock, I think, is probably one of my favorite beers.
Yeah.
Which is just water with a little bit of beer sprinkled into it. Like, you get a spritzer,
Yeah.
and there's your beer. But I enjoy it. I can drink it down quickly. I'm a sipper.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah.
But I'm also the guy that when I go into a bar and they ask, what do you want to drink? I'll say light beer. What kind? I don't care.
Yeah.
Just as long as it's light, I really don't care. And I know
that's when people learn how not to keep creating friction between you and a patron. Just like, okay, cool. Boop, boop.
Yeah.
But then again, I bet what it is they dealt with buttholes who go like, I didn't want Coors Light.
I get that, and but I also, I'll go to a restaurant. If I can't choose between 2 meals, I'll tell the waiter or the waitress, I'm like, I can't decide between these 2. Okay,
Yeah.
Which one do you want? Surprise me. I really don't care.
Well, we'll go check out this place and order a spritzer and beer for you.
Give me a Zima.
And let's see if they have that on
Bartles
tap.
and
That'd be
James.
gross. But no, I wanted to talk to you about something that's happening internationally, and it's kind of funny to me. And I was wondering if you had any
Funny, haha, or
Well, it's more of like what's really going on here. So apparently, there's been a lot of protesting going on in Hong Kong between police and I'm guessing students and just pretty much
protesters,
people just pissed,
interested parties.
right? So there apparently over the past week to 2 weeks, there's been international protests about this, but it's for people protesting against the protest. I guess that's the way to describe it. So
Counter-protesters.
here in Houston at Herman Park, they had people. I think they had like over 30 to almost to 100 people at one point to basically talking great about China and for the police and all that kind of stuff. And then there was reports there was the same similar thing going on in Canada and then in Paris and then just kind of like all around the world protesting a protest about I didn't really understand it.
So protesters are protesting, and so you have counter protesters protesting.
And there's a special side sauce of irony with people protesting here in the United States about China protesting, where you pretty much can't protest in China.
Right, and we're gonna touch on China in a minute about something else.
Funny, but
so the issue with Hong Kong protesters, Hong Kong is a financial hub. It's like Wall Street. The reason why Occupy Wall Street, one of the many reasons it bombed so badly, and I believe it did, is because the protest. No matter how many protesters you had in Wall Street, there were more corporate people in Wall. There were more moneymakers in Wall Street than there were protesters by far. And so what they did is just trash the place and moved on. They were like, "Get out of!" The protesters. The counter protest was, "We're ignoring you. We don't like you. Get out of here." So in Hong Kong, slightly different thing. The protesters, because huge. I mean, it's shoulder to shoulder in the streets.
Yeah, I'll pull up a picture. I found some pictures.
Pull up a picture that's just insane. Well, it's stopping those in Hong Kong who actually want to make money, who actually have money to make or have families to support, are incapable of getting to their jobs or getting jobs done. These protesters may have, could have easily locked their arms against all the freeways and prevented the ambulances from coming through.
All right, so I'm pulling this photo up.
It's huge. No, I'm not smack talking the protesters. I'm just saying the reason why.
Let's see if I can zoom in.
The reason why there's such a massive counter protest going on is that people are going. First off, the protesters are protesting for democracy in a place where democracy would freak them out because they've lived under an iron rule for so long, which is why the Soviet Union, when it fell, there was a bad time where the mafia just took over because there was a sudden vacuum, a power vacuum. And to suddenly go from a despotism state to a fully democratic state is very whiplash-inducing.
So this one is at Herman Park in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I was talking about. So there's a good number of people there.
Yeah.
And they're protesting for China, not for the Hong Kong.
Right. Remember, Hong Kong was a British protectorate till relatively recently.
20 years ago? 30
99.
Years ago? Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, 20 years ago.
So there's the HPD. We got them.
But see, if you look at it, that's how to do it. Well, there are many ways to do a protest, but, you can protest for, you can protest against. That's the whole.
Well, I think the reason I was bringing this up, I was just curious, when national things happen, is it a common thing where across the globe, people get together and basically march or protest about that?
It's relatively recent. We've become a global community thanks to the internet and thanks to satellite television that you can get CNN overseas. So something happens in, China, Bangladesh, Russia, wherever, the word spreads. Despots used to rely on the fact that the news wouldn't get out, that they could control the news.
Yeah.
And do what they did, which is back then. Now you can't do it as much. One thing, the news, you cannot control the news. That is for sure. The news won't let itself be controlled. So that has opened up the boundaries and borders of a protest. Now, the effectiveness of your protest is, in Hong Kong, they're putting their life in their hands. They're getting tear gassed on both sides. Here at Herman Park, you get to wave a flag, you get to yell, you get to hold up a placard on either side, and at worst, maybe someone gets rowdy and they spend a night in jail. That's it. So it's great to protest. You want to gauge the effectiveness of your protest.
And I guess so. This specific one to me was always interesting just because it's kind of like the people who love to talk trash here because we have the freedoms to talk trash anywhere, but then they're talking trash about things that if they did those same things in their country, they'd be thrown in the gulag. Mm-hmm. And they're supporting the people who throw people in the gulag.
Well, it's interesting you say that because this is something I want to segue into over China. Because again, you have people protesting for China saying, "Hey, at least we're not a democracy with all our decisions are taken away from us." Some people actually take comfort in that. I'm a small business owner, but sometimes I would just give someone else's left arm for me to be in a paycheck job again where I had a boss because the buck doesn't stop with me then. And so I have to admit that to be master of my own fate is very scary sometimes. To be given the opportunity to make every decision is very daunting. So many Chinese we like things just the way they are. Now, they don't know any better, and I want to talk about the Chinese social credit score that's going down.
Well, that was a conspiracy theory. Was the reason these international protests are going on is to increase their credit score.
It could be because China,
because they were making connections with Russia and during the USSR days, where basically everyone was expected to come out and support whatever the government was doing. So
right.
If there was a parade, everyone needs to go to the parade. And then this was kind of a similar thing where, where does the line get crossed where, it's you're actually supporting something because of this because one of the arguments was if people who really support China and what they do, usually they're really quiet about it because I'm talking about in other countries because of the anti-China view the whole world kind of has on China. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And you absolutely hopped right on board with the whole Chinese social credit score that the government has instituted. Now, currently, 2.5 million Chinese citizens are now prevented from buying airplane tickets. They are viewed as discredited entities. And I want to give you a sampling of your social credit score, which is like a credit score here in America, Experian or whatever. If your credit score is bad, if you have high debt or whatever, then it's harder for you to get stuff. But this is a social credit score where your score can be lowered for engaging in a number of different behaviors, including, and I'm reading this right off the wire.
Don't we have a social credit score?
No.
Yeah, like if you're a felony, like there's your credit score.
Yeah, well, okay, there's that. That's being criminal. But see, that's being a criminal.
And then if I'm a citizen, I'm a citizen. If I'm in the army, I'm considered. It's different, right? If I'm a service.
Yeah,
member,
well, that's right out of the movie Starship Troopers.
That's right, though, right?
Yeah, you get to if you enlist in the military, you get to vote. You get to have a license to have a baby.
Like today, though, if I'm serving, they
in
see,
America.
If I'm serving America, they see us as citizens.
Everybody's a citizen, and
I know, but what do they call us? And like, if you're in the military and you see me, I'm noted as something else
no,
to
not.
them. I'm not a Marine. I'm something else. I'm a citizen, or they call us something civilian.
Well, yeah. Well, civilian is a non-military.
Yeah. So now, see, I'm telling you, credit score. And like we give free stuff to veterans.
I know a lot of veterans.
We'll talk about that here at Green Zone. Be like, I'm going to talk to Mark and be like, why are you supporting this credit system? Helping out these veterans.
Well, here's the thing. You're saying a military personnel may get a higher, quote, credit score because they're called a citizen.
Yeah,
they're
our
not
society is built around this unknown credit score.
I know Mark's going to start whipping out facts and figures about how many homeless veterans there are who've been disenfranchised. So that credit score doesn't do any good. But when the government controls your social credit score, and that means all your behaviors are monitored,
but our government,
including
our government does control our credit score. Though.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, they tell me if I'm a felon or not.
You can have a high credit score and be a felon.
I'm telling you, my social credit score.
Social credit score. No, then don't be a felon.
So.
But here's the thing: bad driving, smoking on trains, buying too many video games, buying too much junk food, buying too much alcohol. Now remember, when you're saying too much, the government has determined what too much is. Does this sound familiar?
Well, what I like about this...
No, hold on. Let me finish this. Calling a friend who has a low credit score. Having a friend online who has a low credit score. This is where I'm reading this right off the wire. Criticizing the government. Visiting unauthorized websites. Walking your dog without a leash and letting your dog bark too much. These are things that will lower your Chinese social credit score. And everything that says too much, everything is unauthorized website, bark dog talk too much, a low credit score, too much junk food, too many video games. Who's determined what too much is? The same government. So stop comparing the United States to other countries. Why don't we do it like that? Because here you go. You may have people protesting for China there, but as you said, a lot of them could easily be there to raise their credit. Look at me. And think about it. Would my score go even higher if I beat up a protester? So let me make sure I get myself on camera beating up a protester. And I'll go up even higher in the government credit score.
I like it. What I like is that you can add something or take away something every year.
Well, this you can take away every minute.
So
I buy one video game too many, and I'm suddenly
but like the next person gets in power. We like video games now, so buy as many as you can because if you buy more, you get better credit score.
That doesn't happen much in China or North Korea.
You don't know what they're doing over there.
Remember their dynasties, their family base. That's why Kim Jong, our favorite whack job, Kim Jong Un, is the son of Kim Jong Il, and hopefully for Kim Jong-un, he'll get his own kiddies soon and raise them up to be his own little despots growing up. So, yeah, remember Kim Jong-un won with 100% of the vote, which meant that not only did everybody vote for him, but everybody in the country cast a vote for him.
Yeah.
So that you want to send Mueller over there to to investigate
I don't think
that.
people really care that much about that, clearly.
Well, not until they start lobbing,
So,
missiles our way. So it's good to keep an eye on them.
but yeah, no, I was just curious if you've seen or heard anything like this before, and especially internationally. And because I know protests happen in shared mentalities, kind of like what they did. What was it the other 4 weeks ago? They did the immigration protest kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did that, I get that, but this is more of like I'm supporting our country and other countries.
Well, and that's
it wasn't
point.
like it was a sad thing. Like when 9/11 happened, I remember a lot of countries did their own thing as we were thinking,
Commemorating.
Yeah, so this is not what I'm talking like. Oh, hey, I'm going to get on protests today. What are you protesting? Oh, in my country, they're protesting about something, so I'm going to protest. And to me, I feel like if I was a neighbor, I'd be like, why are you wasting your time doing this?
But it's good to show solidarity. And as I said earlier, you have to gauge the effectiveness or the purpose of your protest. For instance, the Chinese government in Hong Kong, you want to protest for and against. However, if you notice in Paris, the French protests with the yellow jacket wearers who are, causing damage, they're not showing up in it. There's no protest over here. No sister protests are going on because that is not a protest per se. It's just an excuse for violence, or people don't believe
Well, that's what
in what
Portland's
the
for.
protesters are protesting.
That's what Portland's for.
So what's for?
Portland.
Portland.
Yeah, where
right.
they always have those protests. And
Yeah,
you always read oh, this guy got beat up. I mean, I can't imagine. I can't imagine a family there that's been living there for 5 generations and they work at the courthouse or whatever. And it's like, man, this is getting kind of tiresome. Happening every other weekend, I have to pretend this isn't going on in front of everybody, and then it's just kind of like, I wonder if you have to wear a certain color to let people know you're neutral.
Purple,
I don't know.
gray.
And they'll figure it out.
So something here, a little.
So
Star
I watched
David.
Aquaman.
Aquaman. Okay.
with
When did
Holly.
Aquaman stop being a blonde white guy?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking of that. I liked what they did, where they incorporated the actors' heritage, in a sense, kind of like The Rock is always Samoan because he's Samoan, and they kind of did that here, and I liked it because they added that culture into his fighting, his spirit kind of thing.
Oh, I love it, but
and I dig that, but
where did it change? Where
I think
because
you
I
can
grew
do-
up with short hair, blonde Aquaman.
well,
With
that
his
was the
green
bad
gloves.
guy in this one, so they made short hair blonde. They made sure they had that character in it, but he was
Okay.
the brother. So
Has Aquaman always? What's the guy's name? Arthur Curry.
Yeah.
Has Aquaman, the one I grew up with, the little blonde guy, was that Arthur Curry too? I don't remember enough of my Aquaman history.
I don't know.
But tell me about the movie.
What was funny is if anyone's seen it, please join in on this. I felt like they wrote the movie and then somebody in the producer's department goes, hey, can you run this by and make it more kid-friendly? Because there was a couple jokes in it that were very kid-friendly. And then
Don't tell me gas bubbles in the water.
well, I mean, not that similar, but it was just kind of like all the one-liners and stuff was very 11-year-old-ish.
Okay.
But then at the end, people were just getting slaughtered. And I was like, I can't believe, I couldn't. At first, I thought it was they made it like a fun adventure kids movie. For about an hour, it was a fun adventure kids movie. And then it got real, and people were dying and all this kind of stuff.
Odd.
So
Well, again,
and it
it's
really
a
was-
DC movie, and they're schizophrenic to begin
yeah,
with.
and I didn't like that. And then there was the whole issue with every actor in it seemed out of place, but Aquaman. That was really strange to me.
Now, was this an origin story? Was this just
Yeah,
a
origin story.
Okay.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman plays the mom, and I don't know what it is about Nicole Kidman. And you can disagree with me, but every time she plays any type of period piece or out of our real world to the 2000
something that's not real based?
2019, I can't believe when she plays a Victorian, whatever. I'm like, she doesn't look like she fits in that realm because I don't know what it is. Is that what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the only one where I think, did pull it off was Moulin Rouge, because that was kind of her Sabine character.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean,
Satine, I mean.
well, that movie had so much color correction in it. You're
That's what
kinda
I'm saying,
already-
and it was they're playing rock music. They're playing Nirvana during.
But yeah,
this movie.
when she's in this movie and she there's a scene where she's been banned in the core of the earth. That's where she is surviving, and you see her, and she has
Well, with 3 million psi pressure.
Yeah, well, crazy hair, and she has like bones of different, sea animals on her. And I was like, she just doesn't look like she knows she doesn't feel comfortable. You can tell, like, the way she's acting, she doesn't feel comfortable in this suit. And I just started laughing because I was like, I can't believe she had to do that for a day. She's probably thinking, like, what the hell is all this stuff?
This check better clear.
Let's see if I can find her real quick, just so I can show you. Because Holly was really confused. She's like, why is she in a costume? And it didn't.
Okay, well, while you look that up, I will counter your Aquaman. I finally saw Avengers Endgame over the weekend.
Okay.
I rented it on Amazon Video, Prime Video. And I won't go into spoilers because I think it's still a little too soon. I was very impressed with it. Very rarely do you have a follow-up to a cliffhanger that is fully satisfying. I direct your attention to Best of Both Worlds Part 2, if you're a Star Trek fan. But this had a lot. Now, I've proudly said that I've only seen like one Avengers movie before I watched Infinity War.
Okay.
I don't even think I watched an Avengers movie. I watched Iron Man 1 and I watched Thor Ragnarok because my niece made me. But that was it. I know enough about the comic history that I was able to keep up with, who's who for the most part. I'd have to figure out who was who because of a costume change. However, with Infinity War, I could keep up with it. At the end of Avengers Endgame, anybody who's ever been in any Avengers movie whatsoever apparently is there at the very end. And I'm going, whoa, Michael Douglas? Whoa, Michelle Pfeiffer. I have no idea who Michelle Pfeiffer played, but I know she was in it for a scene. I saw Marissa Tomei briefly because I know that, and I heard somewhere that she's the new Aunt May, which I laugh at. Aunt May's always been this 98-year-old crone, and now it's, Mona Lisa from My Cousin Vinny. But it was, now I need to go watch the other Avengers movies. I think the chapter on this closed very well. It's almost hard to picture how they're going to continue the next phase of the Marvel movies with the changes they made here. It's like this was so galactic in scale. How can you match it? And I think the same reason why I think The Hobbit relatively bombed, because it came out after Lord of the Rings as a prequel. And after Lord of the Rings, the scope was so grand that nothing could match that.
I think you could. You just don't do what they did.
They tried, in Lord of the Rings, you had the fate of the entire world and balance over this ring. In The Hobbit, it was
like gold.
Gold and dragon. So it's kind of the law of diminishing returns.
But
did you find the picture of?
I found her like costume, but not when she's all barnacle-y, like because she's been banned. But I'm still looking for it. Don't worry, I'll find it. Because
Barnacle-y, I know. I can
like
guarantee
she had like a fish fin, and she literally had a crab arm, and you see her getting off the beach. She's taking it off. So you're like, who's this mysterious character? And I'm like, why is she wearing all this crap? Like, is that really actually useful in the core of the earth kind of way? Like, how do we not?
Yeah, if I'm under that much pressure and heat, I'm not wearing shellfish. I'm wearing, my birthday suit.
So there you go.
There's a visual.
And what did you think of the awkward? All the girls happened to be right there by the football.
You had warned me about that. All I know is that when I watched that scene, I could envision myself in the cinema watching it like opening day or something. Yeah. And every woman in the cinema just losing their stuff. Yeah! It was a total empowerment moment. It was totally set up, but I loved it because it was so obviously, you have a battle the size of Nebraska going on, and in this one little corner of it, all the women just happened to show up in that one little area.
Yeah, and that was, it
was highly unrealistic, but God help me, I loved it. I just thought it was really funny.
I just thought it was so out there. I was like, wait a second, did that just happen? I guess it did. All right. Well, one thing that bothered me, too, about the timeline stuff was and this is going to be spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen the movie, I guess it's been out for a long time, so you got time to see it.
We have spoiler warning going on. Tune out for the next 2 minutes.
Well, like the whole end scene where Captain America revisits, and he had his life with Peggy or whatnot, I think that kind of threw me off a little bit because that just opens the door for a lot of different things that they could do in the future. So, like, for example, they can definitely bring back Tony Stark. And
Yeah, in some way, shape, or form, Tony Stark is not planned to be in the next movie. That's how I'll phrase that.
well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like
Yeah, once you establish time travel, that way dragons do lie, and the method they chose, which was Pym particles shrinking down and having this
Yeah.
GPS. Now, of course, Stark created the GPS, but he kept behind notes. So now you can have time travel at will if it got to it. It's always good to have in the back pocket. And I like how they established what you could change and what you couldn't because of the timelines. But just and
I mean,
speaking,
he clearly changed a lot because he went and lived in the past, not just visiting.
right? Well, he spent a lifetime just keeping out of the limelight and letting.
But does that mean?
Because remember,
well,
he was in suspended
Well, what's
animation
strange
for
to me
pretty
about
much that whole time.
So if he goes back in time when he was young with her, he never helped them in any of.
Yes, he did, because in this time, the way this time travel is set up is that when you go into the past, it's still your current present. So things that,
But it's a multiverse kind of thing.
yeah, but here's the thing: he didn't change the timeline because for 98% of that time period, he was in suspended animation originally. So while his frozen body's in the Arctic,
So when he got
somewhere,
unfrozen,
he just made sure he was, he's an old man and just kind of hanging out
and so he
keeping
creepily
quiet.
told his lover, going like, "That's not me. That's another one of me."
Assuming she's still alive, but yeah.
No, she dies of cancer at like there. That was in a previous movie.
See, I missed
So that's
all
what I'm
these
saying. It
things.
was kind of strange to me because I was like, okay, so is she aware that there's two Captain Americas now?
Yeah.
And she's like, I got one of them.
That's always been, and speaking as a man who actually wrote a time travel
Which
novel,
to me is really creepy.
I
love
hate
it though.
people that have introduce time travel and then say we can't use it again. For instance, in the Harry Potter movies, they have that time turner thing where they can save Buckbeak, the hippogriff, or something. They save an animal, basically a horse,
And then basically, you know what that does?
and then they can never save anybody. But here's the thing: Buckbeak is killed, and they say, "Oh, you can't bring anyone back, but you can with this."
Because and this also means that he kissed his granddaughter or whatever.
He kisses his granddaughter.
Yeah, remember in the previous Captain America's, the neighbor, the cute nurse neighbor.
I never saw the Captain Americas.
He had a cute nurse neighbor, but then it turned out she worked for the company that oversaw him, like make sure he was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a little thing. And I'm pretty sure that means in the timeline, meaning like she
You
came
little
from
Greek?
somewhere. Yeah, I mean that's what that means, right? Am I wrong about that?
Could be. I need to watch the movies, but that was my long story short way of saying I need to watch all the Marvel movies now, preferably in order. I guess starting with Iron Man 1, and again because I watched that back when it first came out, and I enjoyed it very much. Had no idea what it was that they had this whole thing mapped out.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did really well on getting everyone excited about the 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie.
It was 3 hours.
And the payoff was really good for all the watchers.
Right
the
when I started
audience.
looking at my watch, going because for the first half of the movie, it's pretty much just this whoever's left behind, a half dozen people trying to say, "Hey, maybe we can change this." For the first half or 2/3 of the movie, I'm okay with that. But then I started looking at my watch, like, okay, it's kind of the scales down, and then boom, things happen and everyone returns, and I was really impressed with it. So kudos to Marvel. And it was great seeing Stan Lee one last time in his little
they're going to
cameo.
digitally put them in different ones. They're going to do that. Niece-in-law. Is that what it is? Is it his niece? He's kissing his niece?
I have no context
We need
for
to know, folks.
Captain America kissing anybody.
We need to.
I didn't know he did. I thought he was so pure that he would only kiss Knuckles.
But I would suggest you checking out Aquaman. It's on HBO.
Every time I tune into a DC movie, I die a little on the inside by the end.
Yeah.
It's too painful to watch. They can't figure out what the heck they want to do with the DC universe. Maybe they'll have a chance now. If they rebooted everything and started from scratch, now that the Avengers is kind of on a simmer,
Yeah.
maybe they have a chance, but not until they can figure out which Batman, which Joker. Is it a kids movie? Is it silly like Green Lantern?
Here, I got an idea. I'm going to show you this.
What are you gonna do?
This is probably not a good decision, but I'm going to try it out. Give me like 2 seconds.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you it's 9:48 on the dot here on Monday, August 19th, if you're listening to us after the fact. And it's currently in Conroe, still 85 degrees, but it's going to get up to 88 in just a few more minutes. Thunderstorms, maybe, starting around 2 o'clock, lasting for about 3 or 4 hours. And that's your Monday forecast.
Yeah, I'll do this later. I'll show it to you later.
Oh.
I feel like I can't put it on the screen.
What is it?
Well, I was going to play the movie, and I realized it's probably not a good idea. So
Which movie?
Aquaman.
I don't think you can play the movie. How did you get it on? How did you get it?
HBO.
Oh, HBO. They'll probably spank us for that,
Yeah.
so
Dang
don't
it,
put it on.
guys. Dang it. Okay. Well, we have a special guest coming in about 10 minutes. Who do we got coming in?
We have Mark Cook coming in with Moses Ranger,
It's Rangel.
Rangel.
Yeah, they're coming in talking about. I think they're coming in to talk about.
Hey
fundraiser
Moses, do me a
coming
favor,
up.
get a name that we can all pronounce.
Yeah, right. Well, why don't we take a quick break?
Okay.
And then when we come back, we'll continue talking and let them get in here and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds good.
All right. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio here on irlonestar.com. And we will be right back after these messages.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Are you one of those who feel that life is too short to drink bad coffee? Then come to Bean Pong Coffee. Bean Pong Coffee is open with 2 locations. Whether you're in downtown Conroe or historic Montgomery, we have the best fresh brewed and specialty coffee, delicious pastries, and courteous staff. Come visit us at 330 North Main Street in Conroe or 401 College Street, Suite 170 in Montgomery. Visit beanpongcoffee.com to see our complete list of special events.
From the beginning, the main purpose of the Cooperative Extension Service has been to change human behavior by teaching people how to apply the results of scientific research. By utilizing a holistic, multi-level approach, Extension family and community health programs encourage health and well-being for everyone. Addressing values, concerns, and needs with reliable science-based information, Extension programs help people lead healthier lives. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Is there someone you know who is hooked on vintage aircraft? Follow the Commemorative Air Force and its fleet of World War II planes, including the mighty B-17 Flying Fortress Texas Raiders, which is based in Conroe, Texas. Texas Raiders tours locally and all around the United States, offering the public a chance to put their hands on aviation history. What could be a more perfect gift than a flight on a historic B-17? Taking to the sky on the iconic bomber is an experience that will never be forgotten. For the touring schedule, reservations, or more information, go to b17texasraiders.org or call 855-FLY-A-B-17.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids are removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris. And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
Ain't nothing else that I'd rather do than spend all night undressing you.
Welcome back. Dick and Skippy in the mornings, 9:55 on the dot on a Monday morning. We're wafting into the week. You can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless we say otherwise, from 9 to 10. If we have special guests, we'll take it past 10 o'clock all the way maybe up to 11. Speaking of special guests, we got some today coming in. We got Mark Cook from Green Zone Housing, along with Moses Rangel. We finally figured out how the heck to pronounce this man's last name. We need to tell Moses to pick a name. You know, it's a stage name. Pick any stage name that just there's no question about. But Ranger there, Moses Ranger, that'll do it. But anyhow, we got Mark in the studio with us who's fiddling with his microphone.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, good to have you back in the studio, man.
It's great to be here. Thanks again for allowing us to come back and sully your reputations.
Oh, I don't think that's possible, my young friend. But I know Moses is on his way up. He's schlepping in from Richmond-Rosenberg area, right?
Correct.
You know, that's my old stomping grounds.
Is it real?
Yeah, when I moved back to America in 82, they were just starting to build Pecan Grove Plantation.
Oh.
And so we had to wait 3 months for our house to be built. We were one of the very few houses out there.
You know, you moved back in 82 from Germany.
England.
England. I got back to the States in 79 from Trinidad.
Okay.
But didn't know that about you.
Yeah, so I think if I go out there now, I just remember the chain gangs working on what is now First Colony Mall's property.
Wasn't that the old Sugarland Mall, Sugarland Prison?
Yeah,
back in the day.
T.C. Jester Prison.
Yeah, I remember that. I had an uncle there. Sorry, I did. It was the other side of the family.
The other, possibly awkward moment. My daughter-in-law was a prison guard out there,
really,
for a while, and her father was too. So for the longest time,
that prison?
It became First Colony. A developer came and
bought the prison.
Yeah, I think the prison itself is there. It's really small. It's more like a glorified holding facility, but no more chain gangs. Because, Lord forbid we put convicted felons to work.
And not for $12 a day, They do great leather work. If you go, you can go down to the Huntsville place up there and you get leather work and furniture and everything else.
I stopped appreciating leather work when I found out that the best way to tan leather is to urinate on it.
That's where that term, you've heard that term piss poor, You know where that come from, don't you?
Ah, now we know. I just don't want to wear something that someone else has urinated on unless it was me.
Well, that's just by accident, though, right?
Sure. Yeah, accident. Accident only.
I saw the Depends in the back of your car. I mean, since the last birthday,
Well, that's if I have to make a cross-country trip to go kill somebody,
From Sugarland?
Yeah.
Thanks for having us out here again, guys. I really appreciate it. I know Moses is actually bringing his new guitar, too.
His Git Fiddle?
Yeah, his Git Fiddle. And
awesome.
It's going to be a fun time. We're promoting Moses a lot now. He's doing a new album in Nashville, I believe. I think there's something going on up there. I guess he'll fill us in on that. We have, on the 31st, he's going to be playing for us down at the Jump for Heroes.
So let's talk about that real quick, because
Sure.
I know that, you've talked about it before, but believe it or not, our audience base is growing. So,
Well, you guys are good. That's why.
well, we're paying more people. So
Is that what it is?
It's what it is. So, peeps, if you don't know, this is Mark Cook. Mark Cook runs Green Zone Housing. Mark, in 40 words or less, what is Green Zone Housing?
Green Zone is a program by which we build homes for distressed and homeless veterans. How's that?
13 words.
Not bad.
Not
But
bad
all
at all.
under 2 syllables.
Right? It's a great nonprofit organization. Way too many veterans find themselves displaced post-service. Right. And Dick and I were kind of touching on that earlier. You know, China's got this social credit score going on that if you eat too much junk food or buy too many video games or speed or have a friend with a low credit score, it lowers your social credit score. And now all of a sudden 2.5 million Chinese people can no longer buy airplane tickets because their social credit score is too low. Dick was talking about how we sort of kind of have that here in America with, you know, if you're in the military, you're a citizen, but, you know, you're a civilian if you're not in the military. But and it's like, well, yeah, it differentiates, but everyone's a citizen. So if you're in the military or not, you're still a citizen. But Dick was saying, well, you know, civilian, that's a different word, which means that if you're in the military, you're not a civilian, so you already have a kind of a social credit score on that. And I said, well, wait till Mark comes in. I'm sure Mark can drop some facts and figures on the number of displaced veterans that are in this country.
Could. There's a bunch of them. I wish I did have those numbers, and I come unprepared for that because I didn't know there was going to be a test.
We actually cover some serious topics here from time to time.
Really?
In between our Star Trek references and movie grousing.
Well, I get to watch in the mornings when I'm not on the road. Actually, I do watch you guys. And I got my little phone set up, and I push the little button, and it comes on, and I get to watch you while I drive. That's the wrecks that you see on I-45.
I was about to say, there were 2 on the way up here. Now we know why.
Yeah, that was Mark watching your show coming up here. The problem we're having right now as our veterans is opportunities, not necessarily. The homelessness is a big major issue, but that all revolves around around opportunities and tools to perform. I got a call this morning on my way over here. This gentleman. He's 80% disabled. He moved in from over there by Lake Livingston, and he called me and he said, "Look, I just need a job." He's an opportunity. He's 80% disabled, and he's looking for work. It's an opportunity that these guys are looking for. So here's a little shout out: if anybody's got a job for a veteran that's 80% disabled, he does construction. He needs work. And he called me this morning and said, "Mark, help me out." And I said, "Okay, let me see what I can do." So is anybody out there that's got a job for a disabled vet, give us a call on the show. And I'm sure Dick or Skippy will say, "Hey, I'll put you over to Mark and we'll hook you up and see if we can't get this guy some work."
And that's a quote. Hey.
Yeah, it's hey. You know,
want to improve your social credit score?
Yeah, do something for somebody else. I did a video on that a couple of days ago about uplifting people, just simply saying nice things to folks. Have you ever noticed how people's demeanor changes when you, like you're at the stop and rob? I hate to use that term, but that's what my dad called it.
Mm-hmm.
What's the stop and rob, just so I know?
Stop and go, 7-Eleven, Valero.
Yeah, it's
a corner store.
Yeah.
Or the choke and puke. That's what they called it in the CB days. CB radio.
Yeah, just walk in there and be nice to somebody. Hold the door open a little bit longer. The lady behind the counter, the guy behind the counter that you're buying whatever from, make conversation with them. Just uplift them a little bit. You'll be surprised at how your day changes and how it affects them. We really don't know how those people's lives are working. They may need that. That may keep them from doing something stupid. It's far-reaching.
It's amazing. I absolutely agree. Think about you're in a situation, you meet someone, and someone asks you, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And with 3 words, you can make or break that person's entire day. You can say, "Great, thanks. You?"
Correct.
Or, "Get lost."
Or, yeah.
Just think about it. Or just 2 words. "Great. You?"
Fine.
"Get lost."
Yeah. Depends on how you want to inflect.
Exactly. So how that happens, 2 words can literally affect someone's entire day / possible life. I mean, if you say that to the wrong person who's like, "Give me a reason to smile at the world today."
Yeah. And what's the ripple effect from that? Just think about the
and it
far-reaching
goes on.
effects. That you're nice to this person, they're nice to the next person. It's sort of like those things, pay it forward when you go to the store and you buy.
I saw that in a Pepsi commercial once where they just start
Everybody
spreading it
was
out and
buying.
everyone ends up dancing.
Yeah, I would be the guy in the very back, though, in the line where they're buying everybody's drinks. I would order everything on the menu. The poor guy in front of me is like, oh, dude, I'm just trying for a Coke. I'm sorry, but that's just wrong. I shouldn't have said that.
So that's Green Zone Housing. Is it providing housing for these displaced veterans? And you have
That's correct. But, there's more to it than that.
I was just about to say, and you've grown beyond it because, we've known each other for a while now, and those were the early days where, scrambling to find a structure to put something in and scrambling to find the volunteers and scrambling to spread the word. And now you've been on the Steve Harvey Show. You've been on Dick and Skippy in the mornings many times.
Right.
So,
Did y'all know, the listeners may not know this, but if you watch that clip from the Steve Harvey Show, my dear friend Sean is the one that did the video that they showed. So, we have a lot of connection. You were there at the very beginning.
And you've grown so much, so not only have you grown, but your package of services and goods have grown too.
That's true. Green Zone Housing is not just about building houses anymore. I mean, that was a sexy part. That's the cool part. But they don't see what we do during the day. And that's, helping veterans in any form or fashion we can, getting them into programs or just, like the other day, I took a gentleman down to get his driver's license he had lost for 3 years. It was a 3-day event. I put in 200 miles in my car just to get him a learner's permit. To see that guy's eyes light up because he's now got a driver's license again so he can go out and get a job, so he can go out and function in society. The simple things like that are what we do as well. We work with Cannon Recovery to help the veterans there. We work with Birdwell Foundation. We work with whoever and anybody that needs help. And we get calls, can you run somebody for a job interview? Can you write a resume for a guy? Can you just help in the small, minimal ways? We do so much of that anymore that it's hard just to build homes because there's so much need. And if you can take a minute of your time to help somebody out in a certain way, then why not do it? And that's what we've evolved into. It's gone to the point now, like I'm coming up this Thursday, I'll be speaking in Laredo. Texas A&M International, Mr. Dan Leahy called me and asked me, said, we want to put in a program for veterans. And I said, okay. He says, we want to use the Green Zone program to make that happen. I said, okay. He said, well, can you help us? And I said, sure. So he arranged a meeting. I'll be speaking to the mayor, the city council, everybody down there about how to fund, how to orientate, how to get everything squared away to get a veterans homeless society of community in Laredo area. And it's being backed by the city leaders and the city business owners. We're actually going to be at the Budweiser distributorship for the meeting, which ought to be fun, get them up and lubricated so we can have some fun over there. So that's going to be an interesting program coming up. So that's
everyone can find information on this. If people are watching, we got distracted. There's someone, I think Moses is here.
Yeah, he is.
So where can people go to find all the information? It's at greenzonehousing.com.
And you can, mostly we have a lot on our Facebook. It's Green Zone Housing, 3 words on our Facebook, that allows us to communicate daily because there's always updates that we give, whether it's myself giving them or Samantha or whoever's doing the work for us. So yeah, you want to go to greenzonehousing.com. You want to go to Green Zone Housing on Facebook. I think we've even opened a Twitter account and what is that other one? Instagram,
Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat.
I don't do
swipe left for Mark. Is it left or right? I always get that confused.
Go left. Always
swipe
go left.
left.
Go left. Always go left, because that's the, I'm married to my veteran community. That's what I do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a quick break.
Cool.
Real
Yeah.
quick, and then we'll get Moses set up.
We're going to be coming back with Moses Rangel, if that indeed is his real name, and talk about some skydiving. Maybe hear some music.
Sounds good.
County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Are you one of those who feel that life is too short to drink bad coffee? Then come to Bean Pong Coffee. Bean Pong Coffee is open with 2 locations. Whether you're in downtown Conroe or historic Montgomery, we have the best fresh brewed and specialty coffee, delicious pastries, and courteous staff. Come visit us at 330 North Main Street in Conroe or 401 College Street, Suite 170 in Montgomery. Visit beanpongcoffee.com to see our complete list of special events.
Want to check out the fastest growing sport in the world? It's right here in Conroe, Texas, and it's roller derby. Conroe Roller Derby is a nonprofit recreational league of women and men who want you to come and check out the fast-paced, hard-hitting game of roller derby. The Conroe Cutthroats practice at Rainbow Roller Rink on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You can find our game schedule and more information on our website, www.conroerollerderby.com.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Does your company have needs that can be met by an employee who is dependable, hardworking, enthusiastic, motivated, cooperative, respectful, and punctual? Conroe Independent School District Special Education Department can meet your needs by connecting you with potential employees that have been preparing for a lifetime of employment. We have numerous individuals seeking paid and unpaid work experiences. If your company is interested in seeing how we can meet your business needs, call Conroe ISD Special Education Department to find the best employees for you at 936-709-7671.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
You know just what you're doing to me. Ain't no place else that I'd rather be than.
Hey, 10:12 on the dot here. Mornings with Lone Star. Dick and Skippy in the mornings here on irlonestar.com. Broadcasting on 104.5 and 106.1 on your Conroe dial. Worldwide on irlonestar.com and live streaming on Facebook. We also podcast every show. So if you just can't get enough of Dick and Skippy in the mornings, then
there you
go to podcast. What are you snickering at there, Mark? You laughing at another man's unfortunate name?
Yes, I am.
Well, we love Dick in the studio.
Well, I do too, but...
Which one is Dick and which one is Skippy?
Well, unless I'm referring to myself in the third person a lot.
I'm Dick. That's Skippy.
He's Dick. Come on, I look like a Skippy, so there you go. But anyhow, so we do have Mark Cook with Green Zone Housing. You've been listening to him telling us about Green Zone Housing as we were kind of killing time for Moses Rangel to show up here. Moses in the studio. Welcome, man.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Please tell me I've been pronouncing that name right.
It's pretty close. It's Wrangle.
Wrangle. I knew it.
Wrangle.
I knew it. I said that earlier, and you laughed at me.
But actually, really and truly, it's supposed to be pronounced Rangel.
See, I was going French Rangel, but I'll go Rangel.
Rangel. But when I was in Nashville, Tennessee, they said, we're going to change your name. I said, no, we're not going to do that. They said, let's change the pronunciation. I said, okay, I'm up for that. And they said, Wrangle.
There you go. Well, Maurice Micklewhite. Does that name strike a bell? Maurice Micklewhite. You may know him better as Michael Caine. See, you're a braver man than he. Maurice. He didn't say just change the pronunciation. He wussed out and changed his whole name. You said no. We're just going to change the pronunciation. Same thing with Archibald Leach. He totally wussied out and changed his name to Cary Grant.
Wow.
See, so just changing the pronunciation, that makes you smarter and braver than Cary Grant.
I bet you're a killer at trivia games.
Oh, yeah. Later on, I'll tell you John
This is
Wayne's
only
real
you
name.
really use.
That'll hurt you when you find out John Wayne's real name.
Morris?
Marion.
I knew it was an M.
There you go. But anyhow, we're talking about Moses Wrangle. I had it right. Of course, I was joking when I had it right, but...
Well, he's 6'4". I wouldn't joke too much.
Right. Well, I can run pretty fast for an old guy. I'm just saying.
Well, Moses, you're going to be the entertainment at the upcoming fundraiser.
Well, actually, Bodies Plummeting from the Sky, to me, is the
here we go.
entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to provide the musical interlude.
The background music for the fall.
Do you know the Jaws theme?
Dun, dun.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't
Play
think
that as people
that's not
get-
going to go over well. I'm having a hard time convincing all my friends to jump out of an airplane anyway. You're not helping.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I thought they were throwing them out. That's what I was figuring.
Well, that's why the first time I exited an airplane from the air, I was thrown out. So I have rage issues. So moving on.
That did mention that. That who was it? Chuck.
Chuck Akers.
Yeah, he said, we're having this thing where we're going to throw Mark out of an airplane. I took exception to that. I thought there was going to be some negotiation about this.
I know there was money being raised to throw you out of the airplane.
Oh, I'd give money to throw Mark out of an airplane. That's
I can see
brilliant.
where the love comes from.
Right.
I think don't you have instead of a thermometer measuring the fundraiser, is every time they $1,000 they take out a string of the parachute. So it's
Wow.
You're hanging on to one. Are you gonna have a
That's
GoPro
really-
stuck to your helmet?
No, I'm going to have some guy out there going, watch Mark fall. And
Awesome.
you'll actually see the fear.
No, is this a tandem jump? Or are you gonna be hooked onto someone else?
Yeah, thank God.
Okay.
I hope it's somebody that
No, that's fine for first time jumpers and little girls. Whatever,
skirts.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Why is he making... No, let's go back to this throw part.
I don't think you really have an option. If you're stuck to somebody, I think they jump. So you're just kind of piggybacking
Well, yeah,
on whatever
I've
they do.
done it once, and it was great.
So-
It was better than sex, actually. I mean,
Well, that's why I brought the Depends in the car just as backup for yours.
but no, mine's still there.
Oh, okay, just checking.
But I got the highs. I got the old man, not
The
the.
big boy pull-ups.
Yeah, I don't have the speedos.
I always wondered when you go
Speedo
tandem. You go tandem, what happens if you're a big guy, say you're Moses, and the guy who's your whatever you want to call it is
Jump.
is 5 foot.
That would be
It's just how does that really work? And
Not very well. I would assume not.
Watch
There's a lot of spinning.
because if you're jumping tandem, you're on the front, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be kind of all over. I'd be like,
Because the backpack is pulled by the guy, so I imagine they don't put you.
No, they
on
put
the
you in
back.
charge of that. You actually get to hold on to that and steer.
I wonder. I wonder how much money you could pay that person to freak you out.
It doesn't
But
take much.
Hey, here's 100. Just pretend it doesn't work for 8 seconds.
Oh, now that's not.
That is
wait.
wrong.
I did this the first time when my father, when he died. One of the things he wanted to do was jump out of an airplane. So I decided to honor my father. I'd go down there and I would do this for him, which is a really bad idea. But we're sitting there waiting our turn, and I see this lone chute come plummeting to the earth. Just you can't see that on radio, but that was really cool the way I did that. But it just a chute, nothing else. And I said, that doesn't bode well for this next program. And this guy comes down, he's in a tandem, and he hits the ground, and he gets up and he's got this panic look on his face. It wasn't panic. He actually shot himself. Shot himself? No. What's the word?
he
Here we go.
defecated himself.
Defecated in his Depends because the main shoe didn't work. And I can just imagine that conversation in the air. The guy's going, stay calm and don't think you're this. Ah!
That's the problem. You can't scream because you open your mouth and you're plummeting at about 220 miles an hour.
Yeah,
so
it's-
your lungs just
That's
fill
just
with.
wrong. I'm starting
Right.
to get a bad visual on this. whole deal.
Well, let's switch gears real quick. So, Moses, Mark said that you would actually be performing your latest song as you were jumping out of an airplane and play it all the way down.
I never said, no, don't give me, he's big. That's a big guy.
He'll catch you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
How does this all turn out for me jumping out of the plane now?
Well, we can raise some more money doing that.
You're doing a music video.
I'm telling you, you get a music.
You're shooting a
That
music
would be
video.
Get a video camera on
interesting.
you.
Hey, that's a good idea. Why don't we do that?
Of course, your cheeks would be up around your eyebrows.
They probably have to ask the jumper assistant to be really big too.
He's got to be a big dude.
He's got to, right?
Oh, that'd be sort of funny. You jump for me. No, that's not going to work.
Jump for you.
Yeah, you put your life on the line.
You can jump for my love, and with the Pointer Sisters. But Moses, so okay, we're gonna go serious for a moment here. How did you get involved with Mark and Green Zone and this whole gig?
Well, this guy was walking down the street and he had his thumb out, but no, really and truly. I met Mark several years ago, and I knew he was doing a lot of things for Wounded Warriors, and this was a project that came about. And I said, what is this Green Zone thing about? And he says, well, this is what it's all about. We get these Connex containers, and we build houses for our veterans. I said, really? I said, does that take a lot of time and work? He goes, oh, yeah, but it turns out really great, and they have housing right then and there. So he started showing me some pictures, and we talked about it a little bit, and I said, what are you trying to do? He says, I want every single veteran that needs a Wounded Warrior project, that needs a home, to have a home. I said, I'm in. So that's how it all came about, and I've done several different Wounded Warriors projects, but this one's become a very dear one to me.
That's cool. So veterans in the family.
My dad's an Army veteran.
Be sure to thank him for his service.
Thank you. And then I have a lot of friends that are in the military. Some have passed on, and some are still serving.
Now let's go from that into the music. So when and where did you first pick up your git fiddle and say you can make some songs?
Lord have mercy. That's a long story right there.
So long ago that guitars had 5 strings on them.
Yes, and there was dust everywhere.
You had dust?
No, actually, when I graduated from high school, I went into a music store and was looking for a guitar, and I didn't know what I was looking for. So the clerk was there, and she walked up to me, and she said, can I help you? I said, yes, ma'am, I'm looking for a guitar, but I don't know what I'm looking for. She says, well, you see all those guitars back there? I said, yes, ma'am. She says, you go back there, pick up a guitar, and if it feels right, that's the one for you. So here I am. I go there, pick up a guitar, and hold it close to me.
Sounds like a love story.
It's pretty
It
much a
is
love
on many
story.
levels, I bet.
And I said, and she kept watching me and staring at me, and I said, I'm not going to steal anything. She goes, no. And then she looked at me and said, can you sing? I said, I sing in the shower. She said, sing me something. I said, okay. I looked around. I thought my buddies were around, and they weren't, but I ended up singing Love Me Tender. And she said, that's great. She called her friend up. Friend came over. She said, sing. I said, what in the world's going on here? Next thing I know, I had a little crowd there, and a lady walked into the door, through the door, and walked to the back of the store and just kind of watched me there for a while. And then after I was done singing, she walked up to me. She says, I can help you. And I said, buy a guitar? She said, no, I can help you with your voice. And I said, okay, that's not really what I wanted to hear. And she says, I'll tell you what, if you just give it a shot, I'll give you 2 months of free lessons on me. And I said, well, let me think about that. When I was buying my guitar, I looked at the chart in the back of the store, and there was a rate chart on vocal lessons. Very expensive.
Yeah.
I said, Lord have mercy. 2 months worth?
Did you say free? 2 months?
So I went home and thought about it for a couple of weeks, called her back and said, hey, does that offer stand? She says, yes, but there are conditions. I said, ooh, okay, what are the conditions? And she says, 1, work really hard and do not question me. And 2, don't question me again. I said, okay. So she gets back there, and we agreed to do this deal. Gets on the piano, starts playing some scales, and she says, all right, first thing I want you to do, I want you to stand up, spread your legs, bend over, and take a deep breath. I said,
that couldn't be good.
Do what? She said, no.
I get brownie points for not replying to that.
I did.
So keep going. Keep going.
Said, no. I needed to show you how to breathe. I said, I've been breathing fine.
I've been doing great since 4 seconds after birth, but whatever.
So she started teaching me some breathing techniques, and that's how it all started. Became a hobby and took off from there.
Okay.
What was your first big song? What was your first big break?
Oh, man. My first big song was probably in 1998. No, actually, it was 1997. We released a song called Texas Highway, and it was on Cherry Records with A.V. Metalstat.
Uncle A.V.
And we released it, and it became a big hit there. Kind of like a fluke there. We didn't have much promotions on it. It just took off. Mm-hmm. And been a wonderful thing. That really was a big break for me. I got to tour around and work with a lot of great artists out there.
BJ's one of your personal friends, isn't he?
Yes, he is, Mr. B.J. Thomas. He had a birthday just recently, and that guy still sounds great, I'm telling you.
I bet. Yeah, I kind of grew up on him. I was telling Mark off the air that, because my family dynamic, I grew up with Marty Robbins, Roger Whittaker, B.J. Thomas, those old, Smokey Robinson, the old crooning voices that from the 60s and 70s.
Just don't get better than that, really.
I got to say, it has a special place in my heart, not only just for the memories it invokes, but also that just was a sound that I don't think has been duplicated since.
I think the creativeness, in my opinion, the creativeness in music is really kind of went to the wayside, because back then those guys really had to be creative on their sound, on their arrangements. Their singing was phenomenal. I mean, you really had to sing back then. Nowadays, well,
just hook me up to an auto-tune, I'll make me $1 million. I'm in the wrong business. So what we have going on is at the end of the month on August the 31st.
Correct.
Like all day? Is
All
this
day.
All-day event. At the name of the location?
That is Skydive Spaceland in Rocheron.
At Skydive Spaceland, go out there, take a dive for green zone housing.
Yes.
For veterans.
Get thrown out of an airplane.
Get thrown out of an airplane, or, exit upon your own free will if you're a sick individual, whatever.
Well,
I'm not going to judge.
Well, remember, guys, when you're doing this, too, remind everybody, because we get paid for every jump you make. So when you go up there and you're there, say I'm diving for heroes, or this is for green zone housing, let them know that you're there for us. Because we get paid $40 every time you fall out, thrown out, or jump voluntarily.
Well, then someone needs to be stationed at the front gate and tell people that.
Well, Moses is 6'4", we'll send him up there.
Moses, just be out there with the guitar, start playing. Every car is going to stop, roll down the window. Who are you? Well, I'm the guy telling you to say you're jumping for green zone housing.
Yeah, Skydive Spaceland is, Scott Latanis has been really good to us. He's working real hard to make this a success, and that's a great operation out there. If you've never been there, it's a lot of fun just to watch. As a hunter, you watch all these parachutes coming down. It looks like quail, a covey of quail.
Paul!
Yeah, you just want to reach up there and start shooting them out of the air. Not a good idea. Please don't take that. Don't do that. I shouldn't have said that.
And don't shine lasers in the sky.
No,
It's a
that's
federal
not good.
offense.
Yeah, but they have great staff. They got a place to eat up there. They're just wonderful people, really friendly people. It's like that uplifting thing I talk about, because it might be the last time that you're uplifted, but it's sort of fun.
No, jokes aside, and Mark and I have both made parachute jumps, so it is terrifying. It's exhilarating. It's safe, relatively speaking, safe as it can be. There are redundancies and backups. So for all my jokes and grousing about skydiving, this is a great cause. It's a wonderful thing. If you haven't skydived, and if you're of the mindset to do it, I encourage you to. Nothing makes you appreciate life more than plummeting to the earth at terminal velocity before suddenly being jerked to a 20-mile-per-hour slowdown.
Sudden stop. Really, I just
Yeah, right. And we
make
all
sure the placement's correct.
Yeah, I was
with
about to
straps.
say, watch where those straps go, and
Yeah,
I'm just
because
going to
that
leave it
sudden,
at that.
that sudden slowdown sort of raise your voice an octave or two.
Yep.
It could be sort of intimidating. Scott says that it's all about living your life until the very moment that you pull the string and save your life. And I think that's a pretty good analogy about jumping out of an airplane. Well, a perfectly good airplane anyway. So Moses, you brought a thing back there. What is that thing you brought? A guitar?
They call it a guitar.
Do you know what a guitar is?
It's a wooden instrument.
Yeah. It's a bigger version of the ukulele that I have at home with more strings.
Do you play the ukulele?
I do now.
Do you?
You know, I do. A friend.
Multi-talented.
A couple of years ago, I was directing a play where a couple of gals came on singing a song with the ukulele. They worked it into the show.
Yeah.
And it just fascinated me. It's like, you know what? I got dinky hands. Yeah, I'm a bass player already, so I'm used to the 4-string motif. And so I got a ukulele. Actually, a friend I borrowed one from a friend, and I guess he wanted it back because he bought me another one. And been playing ever since.
Can you sing?
Yeah. Not well, but I can sing.
I sing like a constipated bullfrog in a hailstorm, so it really...
There you go. Well, we found your backup singer. You want to take a really quick break while
set it up.
We're going to have Moses set up on his git fiddle, and maybe he's going to sing us a song or two. People, you are going to hear it live here on Dick and Skippy in the mornings.
Ain't nothing else that I'd rather do than spend all night undressed.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Don't miss Lone Star Community Radio on TV and YouTube. Our talk show and music shows are featured on Our City TV, Suddenlink Channel 12, and have their own YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with posted shows and comment on them below the video.
Path to the Plate is a research-based education program that helps consumers understand how their food choices impact their health by making the connection to agriculture. Learning about how food is grown and produced, and how consumers can make better food choices for themselves and their families, Path to the Plate is all about dispelling myths and misconceptions. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776.
Does volunteering at a nonprofit horse sanctuary sound wonderful? Or are you a veteran or a veteran spouse and think trying a peer group session through a local Horses and Heroes equine program might be worth trying? Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary, located in Grand Central Park by appointment only, is home to a growing number of rescued and donated horses. Visit our website at henryshomehorsesanctuary.org or check out our Facebook at Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary for more information.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
I know that we had plans tonight.
Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à Dick et Skippy sur le matin. C'est 10h30. Nous sommes ici avec Moses Rangel. Oh, hold on, sorry, I had the second audio input on there. Welcome to Dick and Skippy in the mornings. It's 10:30 on a Friday morning, and in the studio with us we have Moses Rangel. and he's going to be singing us a song. Moses, talk to us about this.
All right. This song was written by a good friend of mine by the name of Doug Gill. I was up in Austin, Texas, doing a Mickey Newberry songwriting festival. So we got up and sang our songs on this songwriting round. I heard Doug do this song, and after he was done, I walked up to him. I said, "Hey, Doug, I need to know the story behind this song." And he said, you know, sometimes in life you pray for a lot of different things in life. Sometimes it's the right thing, sometimes it's the wrong thing. And sometimes you just got to focus on the things that you really need. And he said, and also I wrote this song 6 weeks after 9/11. I said, man, no wonder it's so powerful. So I asked him if I could record the song. He said, sure, but there's another guy that has a song on hold. I said, well, who is it? He said, Don Williams. I said, great. So after, I guess, Don released his version of the song, I got to talking with Doug. He said, you can still record it. He says, I really think you got a great version of that song. So I listened to Don's version. I said, well, let's give it a shot. So we did, and this is the version we came up with. I had everything, and I lost it all. I built towers of gold, watched them fall. I tried my best, but I guess my best just wasn't good enough. I made promises, and I broke them. And I laid loved ones' lives wide open. Got a broken heart, but I've come this far, so I ain't giving up. So I pray for a stronger back, pray for a bigger heart, pray for the will to keep on walking when the way's dark. I follow that winding road, just try to stay on track. I don't pray for a lighter load, I pray for a stronger back. I've seen losers get a second chance, and I've seen miracles and happenstance, and I've seen long shots come from way behind to win the race. And I've had dreams go up in a cloud of smoke. It's a world of pain, it's a world of hope. And it's dark right now, but I know somehow that sun will find a way to shine upon my face. So I pray for a stronger back, pray for a bigger heart, pray for the will to keep on walking when the way's dark. I follow that winding road, just try to stay on track. I don't pray for a lighter load, I pray for a stronger back. I follow that winding road, just try to stay on track. I don't pray for a lighter load, I pray for a stronger back.
Wow.
Yeah, we got us there some Moses Rangel here in the studio with beautiful song. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
We need a crowd here to go.
It is a great song. So powerful words. I mean, I guess the older I get, I appreciate the songwriters a little bit more than the I guess the songs that make everybody happy and dance and stuff. I guess those songs really touch my heart. They have a message behind them.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, I love pretty much all music in general, except for Rastabilly Skank, but that's a different genre altogether. But
Rastabilly Skank.
Yeah, it's a thing. Look it up.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's remind folks when you're playing, what's it for? Where can they purchase maybe a jump, and how else can they help out?
Okay. You can purchase tickets online at skydivespaceland.com. You can do it online. You can do it at the event down there at Rocheron. Come by and just say you're jumping for heroes. Please be there for this. Guys, in the nonprofit world, we're always looking for different ways to entice people to come out and be at a show.
Yeah.
So you got to think out of the box. Plus, you get great people like Moses, who's, by the way, Moses is donating his time and his efforts to be out there. So when you got artists that are willing to do that for a cause, you want to come out and help them as well and see them and support their live music. Go to their shows. Get on their Facebook pages or their whatever they have and support them, because without that kind of music, we're just dead in the water. But anyway, Moses is going to be there playing, so come down to Skydive Spaceland, Rocheron, listen to Moses play, because what you just heard is one little song out of his repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
And some of his original songs will make you weep, some of them make you clap your hands, some of them make you want to dance, some of them make you want to drink a shot. So
that bad, huh?
Oh, yeah, it is. And
so it's August 31st.
That is correct. End of this month, August. Do you do it, Moses? Tell us what you're going to be doing out there. How long do you want to play?
Hey, I'm there for the folks and for you.
Oh, that's
August
great.
31st. What time did you say it was
I think it's going to start about 7 in the morning when they start jumping. We're going to be there,
7
yeah, until the last jumper falls.
The drinking starts at 7 a.m. to build up the liquid courage to jump out by 12 noon.
Yes. What happens is also Spaceland does not serve alcohol.
Really?
That's
It's
right.
okay, I got a hip flask.
But they've made arrangements. They're going to cordon off a little area, and we're going to serve a little alcohol that you can get with donations, because we can't legally serve alcohol. That's correct,
Mhm.
Donate, we'll do that. We're going to have Moses' merchandise is going to be there.
So you'll have like CDs and stuff to sell there? Awesome.
Yeah. We want to make sure they buy
I'll be
those.
buying one, that's for sure.
And we'll have some Green Zone Housing stuff to buy. I made 40 shirts. I think that's what Laura's making. Laura's Tees out here, and Conroe's making it for us. She designed them. 40 tees only for this jump. Well, you have all the other merchandise, of course, but it's going to be I Survived, the Jump for Heroes for Green Zone Housing. She did all the stuff for it. So there's going to be 40 of those for sale.
And funds raised from this will go to?
World War II build for Zach Griffin's program. We've got the properties now cleaned off again. This gentleman, Mr. Holly, for Montgomery Dozers, is going to be putting in the pad for us. We already have the house built. We just need to finish it out to get it moved out there, thanks to Al Cade at Cade's Country, who gave us a heck of a deal on that. So it's all going to that build. Originally that build was going to be for 3 people, actually 2 people. Now it's turned out we're building for 6. So we've bit off a little bit more than what we had planned, but that's okay, because Montgomery County and Montgomery City and Conroe and everybody else supports us, that we'll get it done. We're affecting 6 people instead of 2.
So the website is greenzonehousing.com, correct?
Correct.
So they can go on the website and find out all the information on Green Zone Housing. And I really urge everyone to come out to find out more about Green Zone Housing, because it's a great, great charity that benefits our wounded warriors out there and that are needing some housing. So if you would like to come out, come on out and hang out with me a little bit, and then we get to learn a little bit more about Green Zone Housing, how we can get involved.
There you go. And if you don't not near a pen or anything to jot stuff down, just remember Green Zone Housing. Go on Facebook. There's an event on the page there
That's correct.
For this event. You can find out all about Green Zone. And Moses, people want to find out more about you. Where do they go?
You can go mosesrangel.com, MOSESRANGL.com. You can find me there on the website. You can find me on all the social media stuff out there, Instagram, Facebook page, Twitter, all that good stuff. Be my friend because I want to be your friend.
You can also find him on Green Zone Housing as well.
There you go.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Folks, you've been listening to Dick and Skippy in the mornings on Lone Star Community Radio. We're going to take a quick break and say goodbye to these guys. When we come back, we're going to close out the show. It is 10:43 right now, and we'll be right back. You've been listening to Dick and Skippy in the mornings.
Night out on the town. Let's stay in. Let me lay it.
Cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Health Center Southeast Texas is a federally qualified health center. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and most major private insurances. For our self-pay patients, we have a sliding scale discount program available. Our health centers have qualified providers and staff striving every day to provide the best quality of care to our patients. Services offered are family medicine, behavioral health services, telepsychiatry, and pediatrics. We have 4 area locations. Look up the Health Center Southeast Texas online at hcset.com.
Are you one of those who feel that life is too short to drink bad coffee? Then come to Bean Pong Coffee. Bean Pong Coffee is open with 2 locations. Whether you're in downtown Conroe or historic Montgomery, we have the best fresh brewed and specialty coffee, delicious pastries, and courteous staff. Come visit us at 330 North Main Street in Conroe or 401 College Street, Suite 170 in Montgomery. Visit beanpongcoffee.com to see our complete list of special events.
Hey, Montgomery County and online listeners. Thank you so very much for checking out Jazzy Vibes with Soul. What? You haven't done so yet? Well, you've got to tune in. Hi, I am the host of Jazzy Vibes with Soul, Miss CeCe Holmes, and I invite you to check us out every Friday and Saturday from 7 until 9 p.m., where you will get the best in old school R&B and, of course, a little smooth jazz to make it jazzy. So tune in. That's right, tune in every Friday and Saturday right here on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM or worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, President of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available in Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Even right here. I know that we had plans tonight.
All right, welcome back to Dick and Skippy in the mornings here on irlonestar.com. Broadcasting live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe. Wrapping up today's show. Just want to give a shout out to Moses Rangel. Right, that's that, right?
Rangel,
Rangel. He was so nice to give us a couple CDs that we can give away. So we'll be giving away those on Wednesday's show.
It's a beautiful
starting
song
around
you did
9
in
o'clock.
the studio.
Yeah, it was cool, and that's exciting about going out there and jumping out of an airplane and listening to Moses Rangel.
Are you going to do it, Jake?
No, I will not. But yeah, so let's just kind of wrap up today's show. Don't forget, we podcast every show on iTunes, Google Play. We try to release it the same day as the show since we do it live. We will be here tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Wednesday at 9 a.m. We're looking forward to that. Right now, we currently don't have a guest, so if you're interested in being a guest, reach out to us. There's a couple ways you can reach out. We have dickandskippy@gmail.com. You can call, text, and leave us a message at 936-228-9368. And outside that, we have Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So,
Dick, what are you going to do between now and Wednesday? I will miss you in the meantime.
Oh, I'm working on the back. So that's what we're doing, soundproofing stuff. And then
awesome.
So
I myself will be holding auditions for a very special production tomorrow evening at Stageworks Theater. If you go to stageworkshouston.org or stageworkstx.org, you'll get it. It's, the show It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes.
George Bailey, Clarence the Angel. Okay, so this is a play about a 1940s radio troupe putting on a radio version of the movie.
Okay.
So it's great because it's 5 people doing all the voices.
Oh, jeez.
So like one person actually has to do like 15 different voices and characters. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you fancy yourself as an actor who can do different characters, go to just look up Stageworks Theater on Facebook. And you'll see the audition notice. Sign up for it.
Well, cool.
That's tomorrow night.
Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Special thanks to Green Zone Housing and Moses Wrangle Music being on the show today. If you missed it, don't forget, we archive all our shows on our YouTube channel and Facebook. And, of course, irlonestar.com/dickandskippy. That's irlonestar.com/dickandskippy. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And, of course, our giveaway will be this CD right here that I'm holding in my hand, Mosaic by Moses Wrangle. It'll be available tomorrow. So stay tuned. We got more stuff coming here on Lone Star Community Radio, more live talk radio all the way to 3 o'clock here on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. We'll see you guys Wednesday with more Dick and Skippy.
Time that's staying.